I'm pretty sure a lot of you remember this guy.
Hell yes, we're gonna take your AR-15, your AK-47.
Well, it looks like this guy
Hell yes, we're gonna take your AR-15, your AK-47.
is planning to run for Texas governor.
As hot-button issues continue to shape Texas's political landscape, the state's 2022 gubernatorial election also appears to be heating up. Former presidential candidate Beto O'Rourke reportedly planning to run for governor. That, according to an Axios report published on Sunday.
He is the best Democratic candidate in the last 25 years. By that, I mean the best being the one that came the closest to winning.
I love Texas and I love the Texas people, but we're too arrogant sometimes, and we're especially too arrogant when it comes to the possibility of Texas turning blue. In 2018, Beto ran to be the U.S. Senator against Ted Cruz in Texas. Beto lost by only 3 points in Texas. We may joke and make fun of him, but make no mistake, Beto came closer to beating an already sitting Republican senator than anyone else ever has in 40 years. That was in 2018. Want to know what's been happening since 2018?
Now at 10, they call it California dreaming, but many Californians are leaving.
They make up the highest number of new incoming residents to the Lone Star State, and the pandemic isn't slowing them down. Sharon Coe has more on the exodus to Texas.
Texans love Texas, and apparently a lot of other people do too. This state is the second best place to move to in the nation. In 2017, this many new residents came here compared to 2018, a 78% jump. The highest number of newcomers hailing from these 5 states.
And Texans are acting like, oh, well, they're moving to the big cities in Texas that are already blue. Actually, they're not. I pulled this quote from an article titled How California Expats Are Helping Turn Texas into a Battleground State. And the quote says, the parts of Texas where Californians are most likely to move, the sprawling suburbs of Houston, Dallas, and Fort Worth, are now politically competitive in a way that was unfathomable 20 years ago. I say all that to say I've always thought it was ridiculous that the Second Amendment issue was largely divided along party lines. The Second Amendment is not and should not be political. It is a constitutional right. So regardless if you're a Democrat or Republican, the right to bear arms is an American right. I know a lot of liberal gun owners, hell, a lot of them follow me. But here's the problem. As much as I love my liberal gun owners vote for anti-gun Democrat politicians like this guy.
Hell yes, we're gonna take your AR-15, your AK-47.
Like I said, there are a lot of gun-owning liberals, and I don't think they all purposely vote for clearly anti-gun Democrat politicians because they hate the Second Amendment. A lot of them are just ignorant to the true motivations of the politicians in the Democrat Party when it comes to the Second Amendment. So as I said before, I don't believe guns should be political. But I can't deny that the only part pushing for gun control is the Democrat Party. And considering the number of people moving to Texas from California who are exceedingly likely to vote for Beto, my fellow Texans, don't get it twisted. Beto can and will win as long as we arrogantly think we can blindly depend on the rural parts of Texas voting to protect the 2A, especially considering they're moving there too.
This is Cordillera Ranch, an exclusive community in the Texas Hill Country. It's 8,700 acres. This property is currently under contract with buyers moving from California.
The minute a home hits the market here, I mean, they're going under contract so fast right now. With large windows.
Jamie Ammerman, a real estate agent with Cooper Sotheby's, is showing houses to more Californians in recent months.
A couple of weekends ago, we had 7 families from California. They didn't know each other, but one weekend they were all here looking at different homes.
So how do we stop Beto from winning in the short term and preventing anti-gun Democrats from running Texas in the long term? Honestly, I wish I had a sexy solution, but there isn't one. We have to start going on the offensive by educating people moving here. Whether that's by sharing videos like this one or proactively talking to our neighbors who don't share the same political ideologies as you, or offering to take them to the gun range. I know this works because it worked for me. I wasn't pro-gun for almost 20 years of my life. 17 years later, I'm one of the biggest 2A advocates in the world. So it works. It's just not sexy. It's also uncomfortable and honestly grueling. But you really don't have a choice. People are coming to Texas whether you like it or not, because Texas is awesome. So if you really care about this state and its future, you'll do what needs to be done to educate the new people coming here so that Texas continues to be the great state that it is. In 2018, when Beto was running for Senate, I made a video titled Keep Texas Tactical. Everything I said then still stands now. So, word has it there's this guy around town who's running for Texas Senate. And I listened to what he had to say, heard of some of the things that he stood for. One of the things that noticeably stood out to me was the idea that he was okay with what he terms an assault weapons ban, which essentially means he wants to ban all AR-15s. Well, that's gonna be a no for me, dog. See, I was born and raised in Texas. I love Texas and I'll probably die here. As a result of that, I support the Second Amendment. Not a little bit, not somewhat, but completely support the Second Amendment. So, with that being said, your black and white signs are cute. I'm seeing them all around Dallas. That's great. So I decided to make my own black and white sign. If you agree with me and believe that there's no reason at all why we should ever ban AR-15s or change the state in the way that we support the Second Amendment here in Texas, head on over to shop.mrcolionnoir.com in order to keep Texas tactical merchandise today. Since I made that video, the anti-gun lobby, yes, there is an anti-gun lobby, has made it their goal to push their anti-two-way agenda across the country. As a result, simply keeping Texas tactical isn't going to cut it. We now have to fight to keep America tactical. And it's past time we show the world that's exactly what we intend to do. Whether you educate people on the importance of the Second Amendment, take someone to the gun range, or proudly wear your state-specific Keep America Tactical shirt, you're letting the world know 2A is America and America is 2A. And we plan to keep it that way. So head over to shop.mrcolionnoir.com or click the link in the description section to order your state-specific 2A merchandise. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video along with my other videos so that we can break the algorithm and get our message in front of millions of people who need to hear it. You know how frightening it is to think about what happens in the moments before, during, and even days after having to use your gun in self-defense? When you first start carrying a gun for protection, it can be a very scary and nerve-wracking experience, especially if you haven't gotten the education and training you need to feel confident. I've been there myself, hoping I never have to go through a self-defense shooting, which is why I'm a member of the USCCA. As a USCCA member, you can eliminate some of the stress of carrying a gun for protection by accessing the amazing wealth of firearm education, training, and current state-specific gun laws of your state or states you may travel to. This can help you be prepared for or hopefully even avoid a self-defense incident. As a bonus, members automatically become insured on the self-defense liability insurance policy purchased by and issued to the USCCA. Click below to learn more. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, make sure you hit that bell symbol.